Hey, what's going on everyone? This is Mike Kollin at crackthefemalecode.com. Okay, so recently I've been coming across a lot of videos, mostly by women trying to tell men, here's how you get the girl, here's why you don't do this, and here's why you don't do that. But they never really tell you what to do or how to do it. They say what you need to do is get her to like you. And it's like, yeah, no shit. Interesting. Or let's say what you need to do is you need to be a blah 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 kind of guy, and you're like, yeah, okay. It'd be like me telling you, you know what you need to do? You need to get rich, without telling you anything about how to do it. So what's happening is women are operating off of a different system. They're operating off of the right brain system because the right brain is where her mating system is connected to. This is what a lot of men are not aware of. Your mating system is connected through your logical linear system to your eyes, so you're visually turned on. Whereas women are operating off of a completely different system. Her mating system is in the lower reptilian brain, like yours is, and it has a nerve that curves off to the right brain's keyword or phrase, right brain, not left logical, right brain. The right brain's emotional creative communication center. It speaks a different language. Now, before moving on to what this video is about, I want to share something real quick. A lot of guys think, oh, women are visual. No, they're not like you. Your mating system is connected to your optic nerve, which connects to your eyes. Thus, when you see a pretty woman, her boobs, her butt, her red lipstick, cute smile, you get sexually turned on. It literally triggers your mating system. This is why men love visual stuff like pornos, Pornhub, Playboy magazine, because we look and see visually women's bodies, which triggers our mating system. Now a lot of guys go, but Mike, women are always talking about how handsome a man is. Yes, but they don't mean visually. They mean communication, body language wise. That's why they call it body language. I went on a date with a young lady in her 20s, and she goes, you know, you're very handsome. And I'm like, really? What makes me handsome? Now get this. She said, the way you move your eyebrows. Now I literally started to laugh. I understood because she's coming from the right brain's perspective, processing information from the right brain, which, by the way, right brain body language is completely different from the left brain linear, logical, mechanical body language. What she meant was, now when I'm with a woman, I go into my right brain because it attracts them. Your voice shifts into more resonant voice. You begin to breathe deeper. Your skin softens. Your muscles soften. Your pupils dilate, and the blood flows to your skin surface, thus giving you a softer, rounder appearance in your face versus the logical, linear, angular, mechanical look that turns a woman off. So when she said, oh, you are a very handsome looking man, she didn't mean I actually like my butt, my muscles, my face, anything. She literally meant the way you move. And she literally said the way you move your eyebrows. And that's right brain attraction. That's actually more of a communication thing. It's body language. And again, it's right brain body language. That will attract a woman, not this tough, standing perfect squared off left brain. Left brain's about squares, triangles, and angles. The right brain is about roundness, curves, and smoothness. That softens a woman, which allows her to open up to her right brain, which connects her to her mating system and thus attracts her to you. Now, I teach all of this in my course, Crack the Female Code. It is a 6-day training, which we will do 2 3.5 to 4 hour sessions a day for 6 days. It used to be 5 days, but I found that with some men they couldn't keep up, so we have to give them a little more time. I've also thrown in 2 2-hour sessions before you come and take the training, so we get some of the super fluff and details out of the way, so you come in running, already running on track and moving forward, okay? It also gives us more time during the training, so I give you 2 sessions, pre-sessions over the phone. You come in, you take the course, and I'm adding an extra day, so this way you can get the entire course in. There's another thing that women are doing that they're assuming that you understand. See, they're born using their right brain. They're born perceiving the world from their right brain. So this is the way they see it. So they're saying A, B, and C, not realizing you're over on the left brain, perceiving it from a different perspective. So she's saying A out of her right brain, you bring those same words over to your left brain, and your left brain changes those words and gives them completely different meanings. And thus, you're hearing B when she's saying A. This is why taking courses from women on dating relationships flat out doesn't work. You have to learn how to open up to your right brain to see it from the female perspective. This is why I call it caveman technologies, is because back in the day, during the caveman era, cavemen had to be very right brain in order to hunt, to kill food, to be aware of danger around them. Okay, this opens you up to your peripheral system. Now, and most men, oh, you mean peripheral vision? No, I mean peripheral vision on a level that you've never experienced before. I mean peripherally internal. I also mean auditorily peripheral, kinesthetically peripheral. There's a series of techniques that I will condition you in over and over every single day while I'm teaching you the communication side of the course. Now remember, communication, I'm pointing to my ear, turns a woman on. It's not visual. So during these videos, and I just watched another one, I'm like, man, it's pathetic, because she's telling you, well, what you need to do is get rich. What you need to do is attract a woman. What you need to do is create a calm environment. Believe it or not, there's a powerful series of steps that I teach you, a series of them that will relax a woman, that will allow her to melt into your arms. Now here's the deal. She's talking about, well, you shouldn't chase women because women don't like that. And as you listen to the video, it's like, well, this makes no sense. There's no... Okay, I'm going to give you a real life example. So I was in the Matrix, a club in San Francisco on the Fillmore, which is now called the White Rabbit. If you remember the movie, The Matrix, then the girl showed up with a white rabbit on her shoulder, and on the computer it told, I can't remember his name, Nemo, and then his name, Keanu Reeves, I can't remember his movie name, but it said, follow the white rabbit. So there's kind of a theme there. It's a place where it's a lounge, lots of couches. But back in 10 years ago, the Matrix, as it was called back then, was like the #1 club in the city to go to. Like, that was it. So the thing about it is I used to go there a lot. So one day or one night, I had a couple of my clients. I think we had a total of 3 guys, me and 3 other guys. And in comes, now this is a very casual, comfortable place. It's a place designed to where you can talk. Why? Because communication triggers a female mating system, and she's looking for right brain communication and right brain body language, which she considers to be very handsome. Now here's the thing about it. Back in the day, the pickup artists were trying to teach men how to meet women, attract women, etc. And they had it all wrong. It was a really kind of weird thing. Now, at this point, I was a certified NLP trainer. So I went to the Practitioner, Master Practitioner, and NLP Trainers training. Each of these courses were 5 weeks long. And they didn't teach people the very bare basics because they didn't understand human behavior. They didn't understand psychology. So here's my point. The room had a vibe. Everyone was in a good place. Everyone was enjoying each other. It was a packed crowd. You had a mellow vibe. People were mingling. It was a great night to meet someone. In comes this room, in comes into the club. Like, you could feel it right as it got to the entrance of the door. I remember kind of like, what is, like, you could feel it's like energy. It's this peaking, fast pace, herky jerky, nervous energy. And in came like a centipede, and I'm not kidding. It was about 8, 9, or 10, maybe 11 guys with this, this head guy, the trainer. And they walked in and they were nervous and they were terrified and they were scared. And I'm like, what is this? And as they literally filed by me, everyone, they were all following each other like little children. It was kind of hilarious. And I'm like, what is this? And I could tell these guys were terrified. And the last guy, I grabbed him and go, hey, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm like, you're part of a pickup artist course, aren't you? He goes, yeah, how'd you know? So that embarrassed him more, but I didn't mean to say, hey, don't worry about it. I'm an NLP trainer and master hypnotherapist. Do you know what that means? He's like, yeah. I go, do you want me to help you relax? He goes, yes, please. So I did some techniques to help him relax, which, by the way, I'll teach you how to do so you can go into a club or anywhere and just feel very, very comfortable. And I talked to him about it, and he flat out said, he goes, it's like they threw all this stuff at us and it didn't make any sense. I didn't understand why should we do this, because to my brain that would be the total opposite thing you would do to a woman. And that's a really key point right there. Men and women are completely opposite. The way a man is seduced is not, N-O-T, is not the way you seduce a woman. In fact, it will piss her off. There's something that women do that enrage men. When women try to turn you on sexually, romance you, and seduce you, it pisses you off because you're like, why is she doing this? And women come to me, it's like, I don't understand, like, why are men so direct? Like, what's wrong with them? Because the female system is the indirect system. And that's what I teach you how to do in my course. When you successfully learn how to be in your right brain, it pulls her into her right brain, which connects her to her mating system, number one. Number two, when you successfully learn how to do indirect body language and especially communicate in the indirect internal right brain language, you are triggering her mating system like crazy. Now, the male brain is the direct brain from point A to point B. Now, right now, you're like, well, yeah, of course. But that is not the female system. The female system is indirect. It literally goes in a circle, literally. So if you ever heard someone say, wow, women speak that circle logic, or they speak in circles, yeah, you're right. But it is a language, and once you learn how to understand it, you're like, wow, it's literally like learning another language. Not as hard, but it is a different language. And this language triggers her mating system. So I went and took one of these big pickup artist courses, really expensive. I think it was like $4,000 or $5,000 for 4 days, and they took you out of the club, and the trainer bombed. He couldn't meet anyone at any club in San Francisco. In fact, women were like, get away from us, you creep. They literally yelled this at him. And one of the things is this: the left male brain is the linear system. It's logical. It goes in a line, step 1, step 2, step 3. Okay, it's about structure. It's also what we call the external push energy. If you do this to a woman, she's going to say, stop being pushy. But the problem is, you've been doing this your whole life, and men are like, what do you mean being pushy? Men push each other all the time without realizing it, using their forehead energy, their eyes, especially women hate it. They call it laser beaming. You also use what's called push energy in your language. When you do this, it forces her into her left brain, and now she's pissed off because she's disconnected from her mating system, and you just put yourself into the box, into the friend zone. Now, what I found out from talking to this guy and going to these courses is, number one, they teach you how to they were like, and when we got in the course, like, all right, let's get fired up and let's go to the club and let's let's sarge them and let's basically attack, let's go on the attack, which is going to scare a woman away. In fact, when that group came in, they ruined the vibe of the entire club. And everyone suddenly got all uncomfortable, like, what the hell? Like, who are these people? What's going on here? They brought on this nervous push energy. See, when you go into a club that's relaxed and mellow and you're in this push male left brain energy, it's going to throw off the vibe and people are not going to want to talk to you, which makes you feel more anxiety. So I realized these really expensive pickup artist courses were teaching you the absolute complete wrong thing. To use logical left brain push energy, left brain language and techniques and tactics and sarging and all this stuff, which is like, what are you doing? You're ruining it. You're pushing them away. They even had this rule, and I'm saying this for a reason because it's going to go to the next section. I think it was called the 3-second rule or the 5-second rule. If you see a girl that you like, you got to instantly go and approach her and talk to her. That's wrong because that's chasing. Everything was designed around the male mating system, the way that we do things, the way that we hunt after animals. We chase after them, hunt them, kill them, and bring them back home. But the female system was designed in the opposite way. She was designed to chase after you. That's what triggers her mating system. I'm about to do something here that none of these other videos are doing for you. I'm going to give you the psychological, neurological wiring of what's going on behind the scenes. Like, okay, so this is what this guy said. He goes, they threw a bunch of techniques at us, but I don't know why. Like, why would we do this? He goes, it didn't make any sense. So then another guy from the group came over and introduced himself, and he said, yeah, he goes, dude, they just threw a bunch of techniques at us and said, just trust us, go do it. So I said, so essentially you're coming into a foreign environment where you're scared and intimidated already, and you were taught to do these techniques which don't make any sense to you. They're like, yeah. So I said, so essentially you're walking in blind. They're like, yeah, like it doesn't make any sense. So what I do in my course, I'm going to give you an example of it, is I will teach you the behind the scene things so you're like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. I see why this works. Enter Caveman. Now what's he doing? He's out on the tundra, the cold, icy tundra. He's up on a little dirt hill about 3 or 4 feet tall. There's a little bit of grass sticking out. And what is he doing? He's looking out on the tundra. He woke up from a nap in the afternoon and he's hungry and he's looking around. For what? For food. You've got to understand there's no grocery stores, there's no government payouts, there's no jobs. He has to hunt for food every day, otherwise he goes hungry. He starves. This is survival. Keynote. This is how our mating systems got hardwired back in the day. They did not change. Our reptilian brain, which is where our mating system is still wired the same way it was back then. There were no police officers, there were no laws, there were no judges, there was no jails, there was no military. It's just survival of the fittest, man. When he wakes up and he's like, I'm hungry, and he sees a deer or a rabbit or whatever it is, he gets up and he goes after it. Did he say, oh honey, girlfriend, wife, can I please have permission to go hunt the food that's over there? He didn't give a shit. He was hungry to survive. He had to hunt, and he's off. He didn't even notice she was there anymore. He didn't care. What he cared about is, I'm hungry and I have to eat or I'm going to die. Period. Now back in the day, when there's no grocery stores, there's no farms, there's no nothing but survival, what do you think it would do to behoove her? When he takes off running, it would behoove her to follow, to chase. Because without that, she wouldn't survive. A smart cave girl is going to chase after her caveman so she can get some food and live. After thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of years, even leading all the way up to 1890, 1990, 1920s, 30s, even 40s, it was still imperative for women to look to men for survival. I'm not saying it's right, I'm just saying this is reality. And here's what happened. During all these years, whether it was 100,000 years or a million years or whatever you believe the human species has lived on the planet, it hardwired her mating system to chase after you. Period. End of sentence. To find a good caveman. And here's the other thing it did. It hardwired her to please you, to make you happy. This is what triggered her mating system and thus turned her on sexually. If she can keep you around by pleasing you and making you happy, she's going to survive and her children are going to be fed. So it got hardwired into her mating system. This was the survival brain. This is our lower, I'm not talking about the left logical or the right creative spiritual brain. I'm talking about the lower reptilian brain. This is about instincts. This is about survival. This is why your mating system is in the lower reptilian brain. The lower reptilian brain essentially has two jobs. Number one, fight or flight to keep you alive, either to fight strong or to run fast. Number two is reproduction. That's why it's instinctual instead of logical. It's to keep us alive and to keep babies coming out, to keep the species going. It is imperative. Now here's the problem. Most modern men were raised by their mothers, especially. See, if you go back to about 1920 or 1930 and earlier, by the time a boy's 4 or 5 years old, he's going out on the farm learning how to farm with his dad, or learning how to fish, or learning how to hunt, or learning how to do whatever it is that they did, okay? So they're being raised by men. Now, if you go 1940 and after, kids are in school, they're being taught by school teachers that are women. They spend time with their mother at home while the father is at work, and the mother is teaching us the wrong thing. But for her, it is the right thing because her mating system learned how to seduce a caveman. So if you're doing these techniques on how to seduce a caveman that you learned from your mother, it's not going to work on a woman. For example, women, I'm telling you, constantly are telling men, I'll be honest, I went to a therapist years ago. She goes, Michael, you've got to approach her. You got to stop letting women approach you. I'm like, why? They approach me all the time. It works out pretty well. Oh no, that's not the proper way. You need to approach her, which makes sense from a female brain, from a female mating system. My friend's mother used to say this, and this screwed up the more recent generations. We were taught backwards. So here he is, the caveman, all the way up to about 1920, going after. He sees food, he's hungry, he goes after. Her mating system was wired to chase after him for survival and to get food for her children. Period and end of sentence. And here these pickup artist courses are telling you to chase her. We were supposed to chase the food. She was supposed to chase us. But what they did is like, yeah, that's what we do. We chase. I'm going to go after her. That doesn't work. In fact, they had a 3 to 5 second rule of the minute you see a girl, you got to go after her, when actually that's the complete wrong thing to do. See, what most men will do, they'll go into the club, they'll look around, and because they're in their linear logical system, like, well, I'm not meeting any women. Okay, I'm out of here. This place sucks. And they keep bouncing from club to club to club, area to area to area, and it's like that's the wrong thing to do. What you do is you walk into a club. If you want, get a beer or drink or something and just sit down or pick a corner out and talk with your buddies and ignore the women. Let them work up to meeting you. They will. They'll come over to you. They'll find you interesting. See, part of what you're doing is you're focusing on yourself. And there's a series of internal techniques that'll teach you that will bring your awareness inside, which causes her to chase you. Remember, when men are in their external logical left brain, it's the external brain which disconnects you from your emotions, meaning disconnects you from your right brain. When you do that, it forces her to leave her right brain and go into her left brain, and thus you disconnected her from her mating system, and thus you turned her off. And that's what they call putting you in the friend zone or in the box. By the way, the left brain in psychology is literally what we call the in-the-box thinking brain, because it's what's inside, not what's outside. Whereas the other brain, even though it's the internal brain, that connects you to the outside and all the options and possibilities. By the way, men, women love those two words because those are right brain language. So now, instead of walking into a club or having someone saying, yeah, don't chase women, and going, why? Because that will turn her off. So here's the thing that the modern man is also taught, is happy wife, happy life. Believe it or not, if you're working hard to make a woman happy, I personally guarantee it. I'll bet you $100 right now. The harder you work to make a woman happy, the more miserable, angry, and pissed off she's going to be. Yeah, a couple of you that are past the age of 30 are starting to realize, like, man, that's true. No matter what I did, she just got pissed off. It's because you were doing it the wrong way. Her job was to chase after you, the caveman, when he's hunting food, and to appease him, to please him, and to work hard to make you happy. And that turns on her mating system and makes her sexy and attractive and makes her want to mate. If you're the one trying to make her happy, she's looking at you like, what are you doing? Like, she can't, her brain doesn't, she's like, well, something's wrong here. And they literally get confused and they just walk away. In my course, I will teach you the right way to do all of these things. Now, here's the thing. You have been wired wrong by your mothers, your aunts, your sisters, your school teachers, female teachers in the church, and females. And here's the thing. They actually mean well, but man, are they screwing you up. Just like you assume women are the way you are, you do. Men think, oh, women are visual. So you try to buy her things and show her things, and you get a good looking haircut, and you trim your eyebrows, and you get a perfect shave, and you wear a perfect dress shirt, and a brand new dress shirt, and you look good. You buy chrome rims, you get your car waxed. This is all visual to make things look better. Women are like, what? Guys, I cannot tell you over the last 30 years how many times women are like, why do men do that? I'm like, that's his way of trying to turn you on sexually. She's like, why would a wax car or chrome rim make me want to have sex with him? That doesn't make any sense at all. Another one they'll say, why do men take us to dinner thinking that's going to make us have sex? I'm like, in the male brain, they think if they pay for a dead piece of meat and they put it on expensive china plateware, they think that's going to turn you on sexually. Guys, let me ask you a question. If another man bought you an expensive piece of meat for dinner and it was expensive silverware, expensive china plates, etc., are you going to have sex with them? Is that going to turn you on sexually? Well, guess what? It doesn't turn women on either. So now you're beginning to understand what to do. In the course, we're going to teach you how to do it, why to do it, and what for, and all the what ifs. We're going to answer all your questions. It's going to become very clear. The goal of the course is to give you more power and to make you the champion. To where all of a sudden women are literally walking up to you. They're trying to bump into you accidentally on purpose. They're trying to open conversations by asking stupid questions. All of a sudden, women start chasing you, and then once you engage in conversation, not only am I going to teach you what to say, I'm going to teach you how to say it, when to do it, where to do it, and what to do, etc., etc. Start right now and buy my book, Crack the Female Code, at crackthefemalecode.com. The number one thing a woman is looking for in a man that she finds very attractive is when a man has options. You take this course, you will have more options than you could possibly ever deal with. And she's going to see it. Now you get to pick of the litter. Do you want this power? Go to crackthefemalecode.com right now and buy my book, Crack the Female Code, or better yet, buy my package, the Ultimate Package. Take the risk, guys. I promise you, it's going to be worth it. And the book itself, Crack the Female Code, will prove it. Alright guys, that's it. I'll see you in the next video. Remember, click subscribe, click the like button, go ahead and make a comment, and I'll see you in the next training.